Impacted! We are impacted! Impacted! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power and make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI UK Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. I'm your host Bison, and today I'm joined by the one and only Joker, and of course the man simply known as Steve. Hello fellas, how are we doing today?
Oh, I'm buzzing. How are you guys?
Yes man, I'm superb. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, not too bad. Lost a bit of honour today.
You did? How come?
Well, I think had to get ready for something that may be on its way.
Fair enough. It's been quite a good week for me this week. I managed to get to spend a little bit of time with my dad, who I don't get to see as often as I'd like, but he was down for a couple of days. That's why I was sort of kind of a little bit vacant for Monday and Tuesday, fellas, because I was sort of kind of like trying to make sure I was concentrating on seeing my dad. I haven't seen him for about 18 months, so it was quite nice to catch up for a few days. But it's all good. I mean, it's all good. I just want to say a quick hello. We've got Courtney. Courtney wasn't going to be joining us today because she was supposed to be working, but she's managed to join us. So it's great to see Courtney. We've got Keith Goldman in the house. We've got, who else is in at the moment?
Bob Williams is in.
Scrolling down. Bob Williams is in the house as well. Great to see you, dude. Randy Sam.
Oh,
welcome, guys. So we've got several people already joining us.
Mark and J-Bone as well. I'm not sure who's working with TNI chat.
And Mir's in the house as well. So it's good to see us. We've already got a few people in the house. Obviously wanted to see our very, very special guest. So let's not hang about, lads. Shall we? Let's not hang about. Let's introduce our special guest. He is Honor No More's member himself. His name is Vincent.
Hello, world.
Here he is, Vincent himself. There you go. Let's get you in the big screen. Look at that handsome fellow. Donald's in the house as well. Anyway, Vincent, thank you ever so much for joining us. It's absolutely awesome that you were able to do this today, especially when we know what's happening with regards to No Surrender later on. Saturday night, No Surrender live on Impact Plus.
New Orleans.
In New Orleans on the Ultimate Insiders as well. It's gonna be a hell of a night. Now, before we get into that stuff, one of the things I did want to talk to you a little bit about, because as I said off screen, as much as I did watch a little bit of Ring of Honor over the years, I've not been an avid follower. So I just wanted to know sort of kind of, a little bit more. How long have you been with Ring of Honor? When did you sign with them? What sort of background did you have in wrestling? When did you start? Just some of that basic information, just so that we can sort of kind of have a basis of who Vincent is, basically.
Sure, man. So I started in 2009. I was trickling around some of the local. I'm originally from Rhode Island. Massachusetts area is kind of where I started training. But in 2005, 6 was the first time I ever went into a wrestling. I was like, I was 17 years old. I helped kind of put rings up and down. And then in 2009, I was doing a show at a random VFW, and Spike Dudley actually was there. And he actually came up to me and said, hey, I have a school in Fall River, Massachusetts. If you're serious about this, man, come on over and, I can help you out and see if you like it, And at that time, I don't know if I was I knew I wanted to do this, but I was kind of, I guess I could say I was intimidated as a younger kid to go there. You know, I was like, oh, it's Spike Dudley. Like, oh, man, I'm definitely don't know
Legend.
what I'm doing, and he's going to tell me I don't know what I'm doing. So in 2009, I went to the Lockup Academy, which is still currently there, ran by Ryan Waters, who was Spike's assistant at the time when I went there. And in 2009, I started training with Spike Dudley. The home promotion was Top Rope Promotions in Fall River, Massachusetts. And that's the promotion where myself, Taven, Mike Bennett, Masso, Oni Larkin, Ivar, a lot of us were in that Massachusetts area for a while. And we were all kind of like a group of like, you know, guys that really wanted to make something happen with this. So that's kind of where I started. And then I started doing Ring of Honor, you know, dark matches and enhancement matches. In 2012 was my very first one. And it was against Rhino. And it was,
Wow.
for 30 seconds, I got gored out of my boots. And there was a 30-second squash thing. And it's just crazy how that kind of came full circle. And then I show up at Impact, you know, pay-per-view and, you know, give him the old orange sunshine in the ring. It was just crazy. That was my first ever TV match at Ring of Honor as a younger kid, you know, and then I did a couple tryouts with Ring of Honor. And I kept doing some enhancement matches on television. You know, I did one with like Tommaso, Davey Richards. You know, there was a couple like here and there that I did. In 2015, I took a step away from wrestling in 2014 for just a little bit, and then I came back in 2015 in much better condition and just felt more ready. I went to another tryout, and in 2016 is when I got my first contract with Ring of Honor, and I was with them ever since. And then, you know, it was the Kingdom, and then, you know, kind of we did that kind of whole run with the 6-man tag titles, being this first ever 6-man tag champs, and then I, you know, broke away, created the Righteous, and we are now the last ever 6-man tag team champion of Ring of Honor. So I was there since 2016.
Okay, so you've been there quite a while then. So I mean, to be fair, I mean that's a good 10, 12 years you've been a wrestler.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
So that's a good length. I mean, that's a decent length of time to be learning and building on your craft.
Yeah.
I have to say, I love your swanton. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's really it's fantastic. There's only one man that does that better, in my opinion.
Correct.
Really,
and
really good job.
Man, you know, that was the one man that kind of inspired me to want to even be a wrestler when I was a teenager. So I kind of did it for years and just kind of kept doing it. You know, I think you know, I like to think that I do it well at this point after doing it.
Oh, you do. You do a really good job of it. Really good job of it. You hang in the air really well. Now, the other thing I was going to say, you mentioned the Righteous. Now, it's interesting you mentioned that because that was one of the things that I spent a little bit of time sort of kind of researching. The Righteous was a pretty cool faction. You know, is there any plans that maybe the Righteous as a faction could maybe return late, you know, at some point in the future?
I would love that. Dutch, who he was somebody who was in FCW back in 2012 for a while actually, and then you know, he just for a while I was looking for somebody that kind of fit the shoes of that bigger guy that I wanted in the Righteous, and Dutch. We kind of got along so well with we have similar interests. We love like true crime and horror movies and that whole kind of thing. So I presented Dutch some photos of Dutch to Ring of Honor, and they went ahead with it. And then Bateman has been around for a very long time, and you know, I think Bateman has such a unique look and stuff. So I mean, we are right now. On the independents, the Righteous has been doing some stuff together, you know, Beyond Wrestling and Northeast Wrestling. We've been doing some stuff. So hopefully, you know, I'd really like to see, you know, if I could, you know, eventually bring the Righteous over to Impact would be pretty cool. But yeah, we're still trying to, you know, keep things alive, you know, and we're all so close, so it just works naturally. So we're just trying to keep it kind of flowing.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Jason Mike, which is kind of weird. Is it Jason and Mike, or is it a bit of a strange last name? But Jason Mike has asked me to ask you how the Righteous name came about, and was it inspired of a movie?
It's not. It wasn't inspired on a movie at all. So I was thinking of like, with all the promos I was doing and vignettes I was doing in Ring of Honor, I was just trying to like, because a lot of what it was based off of was like my word and these guys believing what I'm saying and and so on. So we were just kind of going back and forth on different names, and it just kind of popped up. I was just kind of like, okay, I think because the Righteous. They always talk about righteous being part of like a religion talk and stuff like that, but it was almost okay, like a righteous words. It's like, oh, righteous. It just kind of, and it just like fit to me. It just fit the aesthetic. It was a very like fits me. So like righteous is kind of, I think, the where we're gonna go, and it just kind of came about. And now they have that cool show, Righteous Gemstones, that I'm a big fan of, and so it's kind of funny, but no, it wasn't inspired by any movie. I kind of was like, doing different searches and kind of thinking of different words that can kind of flow and kind of sound cool, still kind of mean something to me and fit my personality. And
so, can we safely say then? I mean, the Righteous itself comes across as almost like it's like a cult. So, like we were talking on before, we sort of kind of like came live, and we were talking about that whole character of are you Rob Zombie's based, or are you like maybe Charlie Manson based? So, could we say that the Righteous is almost kind of like an incarnation of you being that kind of persona of Charlie Manson character?
Well, I mean, you can call it a cult, but I won't.
It's family.
It's family, right? I love it.
You wanted your soundbite. There it is.
There it is. We've got a soundbite. Fantastic. That was brilliant. So you totally thrown me off, mate. That was so good. That was so good. Okay, so we can safely say that possibly that I'm on the right line somewhere. So that's really, really cool. Look at that. Randy Sam, Vincent gave Bison the Rob Zombie like Bison was tickled. But there you go. You definitely throw me off my straight there. Now, anyway, coming a little bit further into where we are now. Obviously, Honor No More made their incredible debut on the pay-per-view, where they sort of like came in and basically beat the shit out of everybody. It was a little bit odd to begin with. I think there's a lot of people were sort of saying, hang on a minute, Matt Taven, for instance, was feuding with Vincent only about a month ago. What's going on here? But it's sort of kind of, at the end of the day, the Ring of Honor thing is now sort of kind of, it's not dead, obviously, but it's kind of, it's ceased for a while.
It's dead.
So yeah, exactly. It ceased for a while. You guys have almost become sort of kind of like probably the biggest free agents around at the moment. Certainly that aren't WWE based, I guess.
Correct.
So it's great to have you guys around and being able to get involved in Impact or any other promotion, maybe NWA or any other promotions that are sort of kind of looking to bring in talent at the moment. How did the sort of kind of Honor No More storyline come about? I can imagine this is somewhat from in like the Maria brainchild. It sounds like something Maria would come up with, but how did this all come about? Was it an Impact thing, or was it you guys getting in contact with them? How did that pan out?
Well, I just think kind of things happen naturally because the situation, and I've seen a lot of like, well, how is Vincent with Taven? And it's like, well, I mean, at this point, it's everybody's got the same thing in common. Like, we were let go from Ring of Honor. The entire roster was that's a real thing. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody had lost their jobs. That's a real thing. So I think it just naturally kind of presented itself and just kind of worked, you know, like it's one of those things that where just the timing of everything just kind of, you know, pans out, you know, and just so it was like, you know, and there's definitely like a different cast of people, and you know, between myself and, you know, OGK and Maria, and then you have Kenny King and PCO, and everybody I feel is their own distinct individual selves, but with all the same thing in common. You know, we all got let go from somewhere that we have been for so long and worked so hard for, and you know, we're just looking for opportunity elsewhere, you know, to keep ourselves in front of the people, and do exactly what we've always wanted to do, you know. So it's kind of having that real life situation, you know, was tough, man, and it's still tough, you know what I mean? But we're just kind of, you know, rolling with it here, and I think it's just, it's cool too, because it's just so different, you know what I mean? And it's cool, and you know, I'm actually I'm psyched for this No Surrender, you know. Even just showing up at the Hard to Kill was awesome to me, you know. And just kind of but like we all kind of, you know, everybody had their own, you know, idea of something along the line, but I actually just showed up there kind of last minute, and you know, and kind of jumped on there, you know. And it just makes sense with all the, you know, what we all have in common, that's real, you know what I mean? It's not this whole thing with Ring of Honor getting rid of everybody is not that's a real life situation. And you know, and just like, you know, just like anybody who has a job, and you get called or whatever and say, okay, that's it, you know, it's that's tough for anybody who does anything. So it's kind of like, you know, the common thing here, you know what I mean? And obviously the common goal is to, you know, still be able to find a new home, or go somewhere, you know what I mean? And the stipulation of No Surrender is if we win, we stay.
Exactly.
According to
So-
Scott D'Amore. So you know, I'm going to hold you
Exactly.
to that there, Scott D'Amore. If I win on Saturday, I'm staying.
Exactly. That
That's
could
what
be
I'm
interesting.
saying. Yeah.
And who knows, maybe you would be able to revive the Righteous on Impact. That would be quite cool. That would be very cool. So, I mean, you know, a lot of people were very surprised when you guys sort of kind of like turned up, and it was like, oh my God, you know, who are these guys beating up our Impact, but you know, faithful. And then not only did you come in and make this massive statement by beating the crap out of everybody, you then decide to destroy our beloved Mr. D'Lo Brown. And, you know, I mean, goodness me, the heat then doubled. Because if you know any of these, if you know Impact fans well enough, you know that they love D'Lo. So that was a fantastic
Well, D'Lo
decision.
punched me in the mouth, so I think he deserved PCO leaping on him twice to
Oh my God,
crashing through a table. But yeah, man, which was another just kind of crazy thing, man. Just kind of the way everything's just kind of panned out has just been, you know, awesome. You know what I mean?
It has.
It's been really cool.
It has been really good, and I think in terms of storylines at the moment, I think that the Honor No More versus sort of kind of Impact is the biggest storyline at the moment. You know, regardless of people like Bullet Club come in or God or whatever. At the end of the day, I think the way that this story is built since Hard to Kill, I think people are very interested to see how this is now going to turn out at No Surrender, because I think it's, like you say, it's hot. Everyone that I speak to are proper hot on this storyline right now. So kudos to you guys, because you know what, you're obviously doing something right, because everyone is proper into it. So I'm excited. Now, the other thing that a lot of people have been speculating about is the fact that, you know, there's this sort of kind of underlying that there's somebody else behind Honor No More that is just sort of kind of like not been exposed right yet. So, and I think lots of people have got their I've got their ideas on who that could be. I know who I think could be involved in this, and that was just based on a promo situation that happened a couple. I think it was last week actually. But could you enlighten us in that? Is it just the five of you, or is there anybody else pulling any strings?
As far as I know, man, it's only the five of us. As far as I know personally, I have no idea of anything. Maybe it's Bobby Cruz.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, well,
I've always thought someone like EC3 would be the one pulling the strings, but as it's developed,
right now, I can 100% confirm that it is just myself, OGK, PCO, and Kenny King.
Fair play. Yeah, there you go. Well, you heard it here,
maybe,
guys.
Maybe Maria is the secret mastermind behind it all.
Well, maybe she is. Can I just do a quick shout out because my friend Paul Riddell has just popped into the chat.
Yeah, I want to say, hey, Courtney. I heard you're a big loyal fan to these guys. I just want to say hello. I heard your name multiple times. So hello.
Yeah, she's a massive fan. She is a massive fan, and she's actually stated a little bit up there what a big fan she is of yours, Vincent, as well. So that's really good. But yeah, I just wanted to mention a quick shout out for Paul. He's been a friend of mine for about 20 odd years. First time he's popped in to see the show. So good to see you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Paul Riddell.
Hey, Paul. What's up, man?
There you go. You even got a hello from the incredible Vincent as well. How about that? That's cool. Right. Okay. So it's looking good, isn't it? It's looking good for No Surrender. Have you got any words for Team Impact that you might want to pop out there?
I mean, words. I mean, the words that we already. We've already had words for them that we're here to stay. I mean, with what's on the line, I have nothing to lose. I've lost everything. I genuinely lost everything in my life. I have nothing to lose. So if winning, if the stipulation is Honor No More wins at No Surrender, we stay. Well, I mean, you're gonna have to kill me because I mean, I like I said, I've got nothing to lose. So my plan is for us to win at No Surrender and stay at Impact Wrestling.
That sounds fantastic. And you know what? I think we would love that as well. I think all of the Impact faithful would love to see Vincent on our TV pretty much every week. I think that would be pretty awesome. Definitely.
And I'd love a rematch with Josh Alexander. I mean, aside from me, I was in the ankle lock there, but nobody can hurt me any more than I can hurt myself. And what's going on, I can't hurt anymore. But I'd like to say that Josh Alexander is a fantastic wrestler. So maybe that rematch someday if when I stay.
Yes, you will. I'm convinced
when
you're
I
going to stay. I'm convinced. Well, I have to say that's pretty much all we got time for, Vincent. It was fantastic to have you on the show, and we really, we wish you all the best. I mean, I suppose I've got to be on Team Impact side, but on the other flip side to the coin, I'm very much hoping you guys get a contract and you're here to stay. I think that would be absolutely awesome. So thanks ever so much for joining us today, brother.
Thank you, guys. It was great meeting you and talking with you guys.
Thank you. No worries. Have a great show on Saturday.
Thanks, brother. Later, guys.
Vincent, everyone. Take care, guys. There we go. Well, there you go, guys. There was the very, very special guest this week, Honor No More's Vincent. And what a great guy. Loved his impressions as well. Which was pretty cool. So yeah, what a fantastic. I mean, obviously we're going to do a preview. A great way to kick off the show, but we're obviously going to do a preview of No Surrender. So we'll be talking about the Honor No More versus Team Impact show match a little bit later. But let's get stuck into some of these news and rumors, guys. Now, I think the first thing that we need to talk about, the first thing on everybody's lips at the moment is what the hell's going on with Josh Alexander. He's putting out tweets and all sorts of stuff with regards to, not having a visa, not having a contract. We've got him being sent home, from the show and all sorts of stuff going on at the moment. Let's hope that that this isn't the last that we've seen of Josh. I certainly believe that he's going to be coming back at some point. What are your thoughts on all of this, Joe? What about you?
I'm really, really gutted. I watched the when I watched the promo back on Sunday just to catch up on Impact Wrestling. I could tell then that as far as the whole Josh getting sent home, that was all part of the storyline. But the spanner in the works has been the issue with the visa, and so my opinion was he is definitely coming back to Impact Wrestling. He was definitely staying with Impact Wrestling, and Anthem was willing to sign him again. Scott D'Amore, you could tell from the way he was talking to him, it actually hurt him to have to send him home while they wait to find out what's going to happen with his visa and everything. You could tell from Scott D'Amore that he was emotionally really hurt just having to give that promo.
Yeah,
and to find out it's all gone the other way at the moment. It is well, like I've said, it's shocking. And hopefully Scott can help him out. Hopefully. But I'm not sure how the visa system and that works with the US and Canada, or even outside the UK. So because I don't go anywhere.
What about you, Steve? What are your thoughts on all of this?
It's a bit of a mess at the moment, isn't it? I mean, like, I agree with both of you. I think that Josh is going to remain on Impact. But the fact that we're even having this conversation, it shows how much of a grey area that a lot of people are debating what's going to happen. I think that if Josh doesn't return, there's going to be a lot of unhappy fans. And I also think there's going to be a lot of unhappy wrestlers. Eddie Edwards has voiced his opinion. Jordan Grace has voiced her opinion. So, I think it's a must. We've talked about Impact making decisions at crucial times. I think this is another crucial decision they'd have to make.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think I'm pretty sure Josh is coming back. It's just a case of obviously there's been a few issues. It looks like there's been a lapse in his visa, which is probably a really silly backroom thing that's been messed up. They should have been on top of that. From the off.
There's a lot of issues with the whole visa system in Canada at the moment. So
I know that, but Impact should have been on top of it. If they knew that this was going to be a potential issue, which they must have done because they'd written him off TV from a month ago.
Yeah,
so they must have known that there was an issue.
Yeah.
They started writing him off a month ago. So
hopefully it doesn't take too long. I mean, you've got to expect it'll take until Sacrifice, but if it takes any longer than that, then there's no way that you can build Josh up to Rebellion. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about Sacrifice, and very interestingly, one of the tweets that he put out very clearly, he was talking about sacrifice. He actually said the word sacrifice. So, I'm starting to feel that, possibly that's there's more of a hint.
I'm going to be very interested to watch what the coach does, because there was something in that promo that kind of gave me a feeling that we will see Josh return with the coach by his side.
Yeah, who knows? Because I like the bit where Josh states along the lines, "I don't need my friend, I need my coach," or "I don't need my boss, or I need my coach."
I don't need an EVP, I need a coach.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you're right there. I noticed that as well. Let's just hope that he comes back, and he's going to be hungry when he does. That's for sure. It would be a very cool person to sort of turn up at a pay-per-view or something all of a sudden, while Moose has just had a title match, possibly won, and then all of a sudden Josh Alexander's music hits and there he is at the top of the ramp,
And it's been handled very differently to the other release, hasn't it, that we've seen in AEW? If you look at how both, assuming, this is a release, which I don't think it is, but both of them are night and day to how they've been done.
Oh yeah, 100%, definitely, 100%.
So as far as the situation with Cody goes, Cody and Brandy have decided not to come back to AEW, and they're in talks with WWE already.
Well, no, that's the rumors that are going around.
That's the rumors.
That's not what someone's spreading.
If Cody has indeed gone on his own accord. I don't blame him. The amount of shit he's gotten off of the so-called fans over the last year, when he's busted his ass getting the company together, has been completely disgraceful. So
he does get a lot of grief. He does get a lot of grief.
I'm surprised the Young Bucks haven't gone the amount of crap they've gotten from the fans. To be honest.
Yeah. And Violet's saying in the chat that maybe Impact is trying in Canada is an issue. She said that she heard that Canada can be quite problematic at times when it comes to visas, which it can. I mean, I know that as we know, Speedball, Mike Bailey had issues. And we know that Lufisto's had issues in the past as well when it comes to her visas. I don't know what criteria you have to go through or what it is, but one thing's for sure, we know that Josh has already had one, and I'm sure that once it gets sorted out, everything's going to be hunky-dory. So we're just going to have to wait to see how this one pans out. It looks like it's just a bit unfortunate timing. We all know that that Josh is massively loved within the Impact locker room and the Impact faithful. So we all hope for a speedy return of the walking weapon. Now, also on this past week's Impact as well, we had the return of Santana Garrett, and she came in to face Deonna Purrazzo for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. Now, I thought this was fantastic, and I got to say, I hope Santana Garrett stays. Now, I believe that there's another match coming up as well. But we'll have to. I don't know when that's going to be, but I know another match was recorded apparently. So it would be good. I hope Santana's here to stay. What are your thoughts on Santana Garrett? Let's go with Steve on this one.
100%. Santana is a fantastic talent, and I was not. When she came out, I was like, okay, that took me completely by surprise. It was not a talent who I was expecting. But it was a nice surprise because it's been a while since we've seen her in Impact. And instantly she connected with the crowd. And that photo that she took backstage with Alicia, you instantly feel there's a tag team with those two because they both ooze that same kind of charisma.
Yes, I agree with that. What about you, Joe?
Oh, God, I'm so pleased to see Santana Garrett back again. Oh, I was so surprised. Like Steve, I wasn't expecting her of anyone to come to face Deonna Purrazzo, and when she did, I popped. It was just so great to see, and the match was great as well.
It was a good match.
Yeah,
so good match.
This place rules.
Hell yeah, that sounds good.
Right, it rules. She came back at a really, really good competitive match to show that this wasn't just an easy ride for Deonna Purrazzo. So they're making this whole open challenge thing for Deonna Purrazzo look legitimate as well, not just a quick cheat win for Deonna Purrazzo. Santana Garrett had to work her ass off to keep Deonna Purrazzo from beating her so quickly. And
oh yeah, definitely.
I really do hope that she is going to come back onto the roster because I'm a huge fan of hers. And last time we saw an Impact Wrestling before then was she lost to Rosemary.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago as well, wasn't it? It got to be a good 3 or 4 years ago.
That was Rosemary was Knockouts champion, and
I say 18.
She beat Santana Garrett for in a title match.
Yeah. Can I just say? I just want to say a quick hello to my friend Jordan, another friend of mine. Just popped into the chat today.
Team Bison today.
Yeah, there's definitely Team Bison on in the chat today. So it's nice to see you, buddy. I hope you're well. So that's all good. So it's great to see Santana Garrett back, and I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. Like I said, I have heard that there is another match to come, at least one more. But I'm hoping that she's going to be around for maybe another set of tapings. I think that'd be really great. It's also talking about fantastic wrestlers. Well, it's also a happy birthday to former X Division and World Champion Rich Swann. I believe it's his birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, fella! Happy birthday.
Yeah.
What is he going to call me? That's the question.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. That son of a bitch. Yeah. So happy birthday to the former X Division World Champion, Mr. Richard Swann. Of course, that potential daddy as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, soon to be daddy.
soon to be daddy.
Second person we covered when we started our podcast way back.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Rich was
The
yeah,
second one. Rosemary,
yeah,
Rich Swann, Taya Valkyrie, Kira Hogan, I think, or Moose and Kira Hogan. It was way.
Oh, talking about Kira Hogan, did you see the tweet that she posted out this
I
week?
did.
With her and Fire and Flavor.
I did, and I'm really. It's so good to see that gratitude is. Kira Hogan had no ill will or no disrespect to Impact Wrestling when she left, and she's just reasserted it now, and it's great. Hopefully, we might see her in the again, and I'd love to see her go 1-on-1 with Tasha Steelz. That would be really interesting and really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Big attitudes from both sides. You could just imagine the whole match. It wouldn't need commentary. We've seen them as a tag team without needing commentary. You have to have them go 1-on-1 and just shut the audience up and let them go for like 15 minutes.
That would be a hell of a match, definitely. I think you'd be entertained for the whole time as well. Can I just mention that Critical Sting is just stated in the chat there, and I've got no reason to disbelieve this man. He always seems to get everything right. But he's saying that Sue has actually already had the baby. So congratulations to Sue and Rich. There you go. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Did post a photo yesterday. As Rich Swann is there with the baby in his hand, when she's wishing him happy birthday. To both of them.
Oh, baby!
Exactly. Oh, baby.
Baby.
Yeah, definitely. So it's fantastic. That's awesome. So congratulations to Rich and Sue as well on the birth of their baby. So that's wonderful. But yeah, Kira's been absolutely smashing NWA. I don't know what the hell's going on with her with regards to AEW. They're dropping the ball on that one, if you ask me. She's a great talent. And they're completely wasted it.
I think it was just pay per appearance. I don't think it was like a full contract, like what Matt Cardona had when he was with AEW. It wasn't a full contract. It was pay per appearance. Just go on a couple of dark matches and see what happens.
Again, like
typical AEW bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
You're nothing but a selfish prick.
Yeah, exactly. Tony Khan, selfish prick. But there you go. So it's kind of like, it is a shame because she was used so well when it came to Impact and the Knockouts division. Former Knockouts, tag champs, and then all of a sudden she just disappears into nothing. It's such a shame because she's such a great wrestler. So what we got there, what's Zach saying? Kira got another title shot 5 days ago against Camille. So, yeah, I mean, she's getting all these shots at all these different things, but nothing in AEW. Random. Absolutely random. But anyway, so the next bit of news that we've got coming out, because I really want to get onto our No Surrender preview, is we've got the Impact Wrestling to put on 2 shows back-to-back at WrestleCon. The second show will be the IPWF. So it also, when I was looking at the card, or the not necessarily the card, but the wrestlers that have been mentioned for both shows, it looks like some of these wrestlers are going to be doing a double duty because they're all most of them are obviously billed to appear on the Impact show, and also their alter egos on the IPWS show, which starts at midnight. So it's going to be interesting how this all pans out. But I've got to say, I'm a big fan of IPWF. So I'm definitely going to be. I'm sure that this is going to get on an Impact Plus or Ultimate Insiders or something. They're going to have to show this stuff somewhere. So, but that's good, isn't it? WrestleMania weekend. They got 2 shows back to back at WrestleCon. It's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be awesome, and it just goes to show now the commitment that Impact have got now into pushing the brand. It really does.
Definitely,
I'm looking forward to it. It's good to see that bit of nostalgia come back again.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be good. So we then got this past week on Impact, we've got VBD confronting Bullet Club. Now, this was interesting as well because obviously, the Bullet Club came out. They were, giving it all the Billy Big Bulls. VBD then come out, obviously confronting them. Obviously, the Good Brothers then joined them as well. So it'd be, and I have to say, the promo work, the in-ring, and obviously, between Eric Young and Jay White was fantastic, as well as obviously Tama Tonga was pretty good as well, and Tololoa was pretty good at the beginning of that section before they came out. But did EY not? I mean, I'm sorry, but EY had serious Ric Flair vibes going on.
Proud as a
you know,
peacock.
I was waiting for I was waiting for literally a woo off going on. Like I thought he was so much like into his inner Ric Flair that we were going to start getting some woo going on.
Maybe when Jay Lee took it back.
You never know. Can you imagine a Jay Lethal, Eric Young, Jay White woo off? I think it'd be. I don't know. It'd be interesting. But anyway,
mannerisms as well, hasn't he?
He did. He was so good. He was taking on his mannerisms. It was interesting. Very, very interesting. But I enjoyed it. What were your thoughts on this section? Because I thought it was great.
I was waiting for Eric Young to just send someone down to the ring and destroy everybody. So I was surprised that didn't happen. That we got a hell of a match from it regardless. And it's built up Eric Young and Jay White's intense hatred for each other so well as well, because Jay White's gotten under everybody's skin, as you'd expect him to, and it's just played into the Bullet Club's hands really well, this whole scenario. But the way Eric Young is constantly trying to now justify his alliance with the Good Brothers is really, really is brilliant as well. Eric Young just shows he's one of the best at promo work in the whole company.
Yeah. Can I just say, before we go any further, I had no idea that Chris Maycock was in Bermuda.
Wow.
How cool is that? That's really cool. I'm not going to lie. That is cool. So not only I know that we have oh, that's terrible. I've completely forgotten his name, from Hawaii. Jay Bone's nephew from Hawaii, which is pretty cool. We've got someone tuning in here from Bermuda. There's another guy that I know tunes in from India, and we've got some Australian dudes that come in as well as obviously the US and the UK guys. So that's cool. Bermuda, very, very cool. There you go. Paul Nelson, all the way from Hawaii. There you go. I think that's awesome. He'll be in a second, I'm sure. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on. And I think this really proved as well, this particular promo, how good Jay White actually is on the mic.
Yeah.
I think we all knew that Tama Tonga was pretty good. Tongaloa was good. We know that EY is amazing. Obviously, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson got involved in all of this as well. Fantastic. It was amazing. It was one of my favorite promos of the night. I thought it was really, really strong, really, really good. And I can't wait to see where this one all goes.
It just shows how much promos mean, because they've just elevated 2 matches with a promo segment. Whereas,
massively.
Other promotions sometimes fail to recognize a promo segment can do so much for a match.
Oh my God! The way that this was built was fantastic. I'm absolutely, I'm chomping at the bit to see the matches now, because I know that we've also got a match tomorrow night on Impact as well. So we'll get to talk about that in a second. And not only we got that, we've also got Jay White versus EY, and obviously we've got the Good Brothers versus the Guerrillas Destiny as well. So that's going to be amazing. Now,
can you hear that? No, let me turn it up for you.
Exactly. We love a bit of Sex Ferguson. He'll obviously be at the IPWS show. You don't want to miss Sex. So we also had the in-ring debut of Big Con as well, versus a very emotionally charged Josh Alexander. Like Josh just basically ankle locked the shit out of him within about I think it was about 1 minute 20 seconds or something. It didn't take very long. I mean, Big Con came out and he is massive. He is massive. And of course, we know that he is obviously one half of the former WWE tag team. Slipped my mind.
The Ascension.
The Ascension. Exactly. And obviously, are they called the Awakened now, I think? Yeah. So I'd be interested to see whether we get the other half of that tag team later on. And I know
they did appear, I think, with the Good Brothers promotion about a year ago, didn't they?
They did. They did. So it'll be interesting to see whether we get the other dude as well, because both of those are fantastic. I think WWE definitely dropped the ball on those two. They're definitely.
They're still the longest reigning NXT champions, I believe. So as always with NXT, they were fire.
Oh, they were absolutely. Yeah, and then they turned up on yeah. So looks on a big combat lasts as long as Trent's married. Where is Trent? Is Trent in here? Is Trent in the chat today?
Oh god, it's not fair picking on Trent when he's not in the chat. That's mean.
Come on, that's mean. He's not here to defend himself. Anyway, so yeah, a lot going on. I'd love to see them. I'd absolutely love to see those guys turn up on Impact Wrestling. I think it'd be great. And actually, a decent amount of time has passed. Since they were gone from WWE, they've been doing other things. I think
and that's one of the things, because they've been gone for so long. Everyone half forgot about them.
Yeah, exactly. But then when he turned up, it's like, wow, this is a big deal. As we know, there's another match advertised with Big Con, so I'm hoping he's around to stay for a bit longer. Now, of course, the other thing that we had going on was that Team Impact seemed to want Jonathan Gresham as their partner at No Surrender, but it looks like Steve Macklin's earned his place. What are your thoughts on this? And I have to say, I'm more Steve Macklin. I think Steve Macklin would have been a better pick than Gresham, because based on the fact that at the end of the day, he is still a Ring of Honor guy. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
There is that sort of kind of chance that maybe he could turn on the Impact, turn on the Impact team. But I think Steve Macklin proved that he's definitely wanted to be part of Team Impact. What are your thoughts on all of this? Let's go with Steve first.
Yeah, the whole Gresham thing feels very awkward. To begin with, I thought, well, Macklin's taking him out. That's a given, because it feels like it makes too much sense. But then the more you think about it, they're really pushing for Gresham, aren't they? And he's like, no, I'm not interested. Are they making it too obvious that he's not interested, that he actually is interested? It's one of those and obviously Macklin is the one, as we said with Omega, didn't we? We need a hero. Could it be the hero we don't want? Is Macklin the hero that we don't want, kind of thing? It's one of those iffy kind of, what could happen?
Macklin cannot take the mantle of Sami Calhoun. Yeah.
Oh no, the kind of
hero we need.
Yeah, it's sort of like Gresham is Gresham the guy who's too nice, kind of thing. It's one of those sort of things, isn't it?
Yeah. Is he really got a little nasty streak? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? What about your thoughts, Joe?
Well, firstly, congratulations to Steve Macklin and Diana Perazzo, who've got
they got engaged.
Got engaged.
Yeah.
Steve Macklin's a perfect fit for me. I was so pleased that they even gave this a shot after he gone backstage to Scott D'Amore after the whole Josh Alexander situation. I thought if they don't put Steve Macklin on this team, then it's going to be really hard to find someone who believable to put on there, because if it wasn't going to be Jonathan Gresham, they would have probably gone for someone like Jake something, who's been on a losing streak recently and he's got no connection to the whole storyline. So and given that Steve Macklin has been attacked about 3 times by Honor No More, it made more sense to have him on than to put Jonathan Gresham on, who doesn't want anything to do with either side, basically. So, and Steve Macklin's just an absolute badass. So it's great to see now, just to see him go out there and kick the shit out of people again.
Yeah. I'm down with it. I think he's a great pick. Steve Macklin is a great pick. So let's hope I'm not going to eat my words and he turns on him or something.
No, I do believe that Macklin's the one who took out Gresham. Obviously, it's like that's to keep Steve Macklin as a heel character, regardless of the outcome of the match at No Surrender. Macklin's the one who took out Gresham just to get in the match and get his revenge. So win or lose, Macklin is still the bad guy after it's all done. So it's a great way to keep it's something that you'd expect Sami Calhoun to do. So it's a great way to keep Macklin in his character, but go on the good guy side for a little while.
Okay, all right.
For real,
I'm down with that. Exactly. Now, of course, we're getting more antics from the inspiration towards Caleb with a K as well, haven't we? The whole sort of kind of getting him to take photos of them and all that kind of stuff. Really, kind of trying to get into Madison's head. I think I love this section, this segment of last week's show. I thought it was great. Again, we could get some sound bites out of this. I thought it was really good. So, what were your thoughts on this one, Joe?
I couldn't stop laughing again. It was just too funny. No, I think Caleb with the K is the one who's going to break away from Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rayne when Tennille Dashwood finally decides to turn up again. She's like bloody Brock Lesnar now. She's just there once or twice and buggers off for a couple of weeks. It's pretty frustrating. The way Madison Rayne reacted to all this again just was a huge payoff as well. But I think the work they're doing with just the four of them without Tennille Dashwood is really good. But I really want to see those knockouts tag team titles defended. And so I'm hoping that Tennille Dashwood will be there, and that'll be the second match on the pre-show.
Last time I saw you was pre-cell phone era.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I think there's definitely some interesting stuff afoot, that's for sure. Okay, so we then move on to some other news, which come out this week, which was that there's going to be some alternative commentary on Fight, which is SoCal Val, Lisa Marie Varon, obviously, and Tracy Brooks. Getting involved for No Surrender. Now, this is interesting, and of course, Steve mentioned this in our little chat group a couple of days ago. It's interesting, and they're now looking at sort of kind of almost putting together a all-female commentary team, because we've been saying for quite some time now. Is this a hint that we could be looking at a potential commentary team for an all knockouts only show? Now, we've been talking about this for a while, and I'm still convinced it's coming. When? I don't know, but I'm still convinced it's coming. Could this be a test? Could this be, let's put some alternative commentary out there. Let's see how you guys gel. Let's see how you go. Do we think this could be what it is? I don't know. What about you, Steve? What are your thoughts? So you're the one that brought this to my attention. So what do you think?
It definitely feels like it. I mean, I don't really know why else they'd be trying it, because it feels like if they would have done this just for the sake of it, you feel like last year, because obviously I think they put Striker, didn't they, just on a trial basis to see how things were going. You feel like last year that's when they'd have offered the alternate commentary to sort of see, okay, choose, and if the female option commentary were doing better, then I said to Striker, okay, you're not sort of cutting it. Yeah. Whereas now we've got a commentary team that everyone is saying, okay, we're liking what's going on. It feels weird that they're deciding to sort of choose. So it really feels like that's the direction that they're going to go in to build up to this, maybe by Slammiversary, you feel?
Yeah, that I think you're right. I think that's possibly what we're looking at. I'm a little bit disappointed though that they didn't put Vader in on this, because
that was my thinking.
She was fantastic at Knockouts Knockdown.
She was awesome on Knockouts Knockdown. And I know that obviously SoCal Val, Lisa Marie Varon, that they are 2/3 of the Gore guys. So obviously the other one is Mickey
They
James.
still may, it may just be a test. They may just be testing the water with different
combinations.
Yeah,
and of course, someone like, again, SoCal Val is a TNA legend. We know that Lisa Marie Tara is a TNA legend. Tracy Brooks is a TNA legend. One of the first TNA Knockouts champions. She was amazing, Tracy, in the early days. But I know she's very, very, very popular with the fan base. But that's what you've got there. Basically, Tracy is replacing Mickey James of the Gore podcast. So be interesting. Like I say, I just think it should have been possibly Vader. Yeah, for me, if you'd have put her in there instead of Tracy Brooks, those three I think would have been pretty amazing.
I was a
But
judgment until I hear it.
who knows? Who knows what they could do for another special? They might try somebody else out to see how they go as well. So it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. But I'm very interested in this. I think it's a good move. Now, what else? We had a war. Myers and Morrissey went to war last week. That was an awesome match. I have to say I loved that match. I thought it was great. When we saw the pictures of Brian Myers' back and arm and everything else after the match, the thumbtacks spot and all the rest of it, he was definitely impaled by thumbtacks, that's for sure. But then, of course, we had Moose turn up right at the end to then add fuel to the fire, give Morrissey an absolute beating, just leaving him almost for dead. Obviously, adding more fuel to the fire for their match. Sorry. For their match at No Surrender this Saturday. What are your thoughts on that, Joe?
Oh, that match was incredible. It left me really, really shaken. The final end part to it when Brian Myers got powerbombed onto those stacks twice. That was really, really just wow. And the way then Moose comes out to get the chair around W. Morrissey and batter him even more. It makes me wonder what are they going to do this week, because they can't send them both home now and expect them not to kill each other in the parking lot. So what's going to happen with Moose and Morrissey this week? But for No Surrender, it gives Moose the advantage because Brian Myers has done a good job in knocking him down. Last week anyway. The other 2 weeks has been a complete disaster.
Yeah.
No, the match was incredible, and I didn't expect W. Morrissey to get beaten up so badly, but it just shows how much commitment he's got to Impact Wrestling.
Yeah,
and it just shows that Brian Myers is there, not to be taken seriously. He's obviously clearly back into the title hunt now. He's there to pick off where Matt Cardona left off, basically. Not to put him in the same shoes as Matt Cardona, because I know I'll get a roster cut from him.
And we don't want that. Nobody wants that. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that pretty much sums up the sort of kind of news and rumor stuff. There are a few more bits and bobs out there, but I really want to get stuck into this No Surrender preview. We know that I am currently on top when it comes to bragging rights on predictions from previous shows. So let's get our predictions in. Let's talk about the matches we got at the moment. We know there's going to be a couple more added, but let's go with the ones that we got in a minute.
I think the ones that are going to be added, we know what they will be.
I think so too, but we've got 7 to talk about at the moment. We've got 7 to talk about. So, what do you mean, no spoilers? You can't have a spoiler for a show. Mia, you can't have a spoiler for a show that hasn't happened yet. It doesn't happen until Saturday. It is live. But anyway, let's give it a good go. So we've got the first match we got advertised, which we saw obviously coming over a couple of weeks ago. We've got Jonah versus Black Taurus. Now, I actually think this is going to be a really, really good match. Jonah is not going to be able to walk over Black Taurus.
I don't know whether to say congratulations or I'm sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But the point of this one here is I think that this is going to be a good match. It's not going to be a over and done in 2 seconds squash match like some of Jonah's other matches. So I think it's going to be a good match. I'm looking forward to this. We all know that Black Taurus is a beast. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go for Jonah win because obviously, they're clearly building Jonah at the moment. But so what are your thoughts on this one? I'm going to go with Steve first.
Yeah, it's a tough one because, Jonah, like you say, is really being built again after his loss to Josh. And I partly want to go for Taurus just because the Decay are on a big losing streak and you feel they've got to get some momentum back. But how do you stop Jonah? I don't know where the Decay, if they get this win, what that does for them. So yeah, I think you've just got to go for Jonah after this. Maybe we see something, something happen after the match.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So you're going to go with Jonah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Joe? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of would be, like Steve said, Jonah's obviously got this match won, sadly, for as a big fan of Decay. But with guys like Big Kong coming on now, if him and Black Taurus were to team up as part of Decay, and then see where they can go from there, because I don't know what the hell's happening with Crazy Steve, but him and Black Taurus just aren't going anywhere. So if Crazy Steve acts more like Rosemary did when we had the best and Crazy Steve, with Rosemary and Havoc, then Black Taurus would go from the tag division with someone a bit more his equal size. It'd be interesting to see.
If they brought the Awakening in, they could easily have them as the tag division. Steve could go back to the X division.
Yeah, or they can have Crazy Steve and Black Taurus versus the Awakening, and then that would be a great way to get them introduced to Impact Wrestling. But I think Jonah's got this match won, but it's going to be really, really competitive. It's not going to be a walk in the park for either of them. And if it's anything like Josh Alexander versus Black Taurus was last year, then we're in for a really good match. And Josh Alexander versus Jonah was awesome too. So we know both of them can go, and this is going to be really good.
All right. What about you, Steve? What are your thoughts? So, hang on, just so you're going to go with Jonah.
Yeah.
It's a shame because, like I say, we always like to see Decay win, don't we?
Yeah, especially in just over a year since Black Taurus has come onto the roster now as well. So I would love to pick Black Taurus, but I want to actually get something right as far as
Who knows? Yeah. Okay. So that's what you're going to go with. Fair enough. I understand your thought process, but I don't know. I just think that you can't build up Jonah and then every single special or pay per view he loses. That would be silly. So I definitely go with Jonah.
Yeah, I think Jonah's got it.
So we then go into the first championship match. We got the DMC championship. It's going to be Matt Cardona versus Jordan Gray. So that's the rematch. I cannot see Cardona losing on this one now. He's won it. He's great. He's sort of kind of pretty much turned heel. We're going to see him go even more heel. I can't see him losing. So I'm going with Matt Cardona. I love the stuff he's doing on the indies at the moment. We're promoting this. So that's what I want to see. Can I apologize? All of a sudden, I've got a bit of a tickly throat. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking too much.
Cocktail hour, brother.
Thanks, mate. So that's my thoughts on that one. I think Matt Cardona is going to win that, and I think he's doing a great job of carrying that title as well. And we'll talk about his digital media match that he had exclusively on the digital media exclusive match of the week, which was extremely good. So, what are your thoughts on this one, Joe?
Yeah, Matt Calhoun got this match won. But him and Jordan Grace had such a good match last time. It's going to be great to see them both go. They both are going to go full pelt now. Jordan Grace isn't going to hang around and wait for Matt Cardona like she did in the last match. But now Matt Cardona isn't going to be hesitant and all this sort of stuff and sort of like play off. But he's going to be more in his heel role, playing off of the fans' disdain for him. And so we're going to see a much more aggressive Matt Cardona in this match, which is going to just make the win better for him, and the loss to Jordan Grace isn't going to damage her in any way either, because we're not expecting him to lose the title so quickly. And it's just going to be a good, entertaining match, and that's what we want to see. Matt Cardona, like I've said it loads of times, since coming at WWE, he's just blown away everybody. He's doubted him. He's NWA World Champion now, and since he's won the Digital Media Championship, his entire impact in wrestling in general is just blown up even more than it was before.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, like you guys, I don't see how Matt Cardona doesn't win this. I there's gonna I agree with chat, and there's gonna be some kind of underhanded tactics. I still think he gets the pin on Jordan. I'll be very intrigued if he comes out with the NWA title as well.
Yeah,
that would be intriguing to see. If he doesn't,
he's the belt collector, of course.
If he doesn't, it won't bother me, but it'll be intriguing to see if he does. But yeah, Cardona wins this.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, but I can't see him losing. We then move on, and we've got the obviously Eric Young, which we were talking about earlier, how that's been built up. The Eric Young versus Jay White. Can I just say, sorry, I meant to say a quick hello to Paul Nelson. We were literally just talking about you, brother, saying you're all the way from Hawaii. We got someone joining us from Bermuda. Absolutely superb. So great to see you in the house, buddy. Great to see you in the house. So my thoughts on this one. I this is a difficult one for me because I want to see Eric win. But I just have a feeling that, we've got Bullet Club for a little while longer. So I just got a feeling that Jay's going to win this. So I'm going to go Jay White on this one. What about you, Joe?
Oh, God, this is another one that really, really hurts. So, because do I want to give a right answer just to be right, or do I want to give a flip side answer? But unless Violent by Design really, really managed to distract Jay White, or the referee, Jay White's got this match won, and it's going to be a fucking great match, regardless of that. Sadly, I don't see Eric Young getting the win, which is a bit of a shame because I really do want Eric Young to power drive Jay White and shut him up.
Yeah, definitely.
Given how awesome Eric Young has been towards me, so I just can't. It hurts to not have faith in him winning.
So you're going to go Jay White then, Joe? Yeah,
I'm going to go Jay White, and hang my head in shame.
Fair dues, fair dues. What about you, Steve? What are your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I'm with you. Where I feel it would benefit more from an EY win, just because of the whole storyline with EY and the Good Brothers. And I might have misheard this or something, but part of me feels that there was something said that Violent by Design were banned from ringside. So if that is true, and they're banned from ringside and the Bullet Club aren't, then I think that may be a way for the Bullet Club to help Jay White. So I will kind of lean towards Jay White.
I find it strange that they would ban VBD, but they wouldn't ban Bullet Club.
I don't know. It depends. It depends who interferes more, doesn't it? We've seen teams we've seen people get ejected from ringside, whereas another person hasn't, and they're both the same thing.
I think in this one, we're gonna. I think if anyone comes out with Jay, it's just going to be Chris Bay, because obviously Guerrilla Destinies are involved with the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that Chris Bay might come out with Jay White, and maybe EY will come out with Dorian by his side or something.
Could see Hikuleo again.
Maybe Hikuleo could turn up.
That was crossing my mind, Steve. After the match, we could see Hikuleo come out, and then two on one to start at the end of the match, which would be really, really interesting too. But then Violent by Design have to find someone else to bring in.
Yeah, definitely. And who knows? Maybe they could bring in Big Con, but who knows? Yeah. But okay, so Steve, you're going to go with Jay White as well?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Jay White on this one.
Okay,
they wouldn't surprise me if I won it.
We're doing well, boys. We're pretty much predicting exactly the same things.
Yeah.
So we could all be bragging. We could all have the bragging rights.
We could do. There's no fun in that, is there? For everyone wins.
It could be just a TNI bragging rights. Full stop. Okay, so we then got advertised the Good Brothers. Now this is a match everyone's been waiting for. So, even if you're not an Impact Wrestling fan, and you want to see these guys in the ring together, you need to check out No
Pull my scarf!
We have got the Good Brothers versus the Guerrillas of Destiny. This is where the Good Brothers lose their title. I'm going GOD. Joe?
Can't agree more.
Oh God, I want as much as I mean this in the most nicest way possible. I want the Good Brothers to lose. But part of me
How can you say that nicely? Oh, I mean this in the nicest way possible.
Because I respect.
Man, this is horrible.
I respect the hell out of them.
So do I. Yeah.
But the tag team titles need some big kick up the ass, and the Good Brothers are better when they're chasing the gold than they're with the gold. So I think God have got this match won.
Okay.
And it's going to lead to a pretty good revenge storyline for the Good Brothers, so that they benefit regardless.
Okay. All right. What about you, Steve?
We've had so many chances, like over the last few months, where we've had contender push to the Good Brothers, pull back. Contender push to the Good Brothers, pull back with like Swann and Mac, then the Bullet Club in Bay and Hikuleo, then Violent by Design, and then they didn't defend it at Hard to Kill. But it's like, yes, it's their time, and then they lose. Yes, it's their time. It's now, like we spoke about with Josh, it's make or break with pulling the trigger on someone. And you feel the Good Brothers are a big name that it has to be them taking off the Good Brothers. And I have no issue with the Good Brothers, but like Joe said, it's time for a change and a shake-up. It really is. And the Good Brothers have the GOD have to win this. They really do. And I can personally see them winning it clean, because the Good Brothers have shown that they're happy to do the job. They take enough pins.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. So you're going to go with Guerrilla's Destiny then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's great also, by the way. I just noticed that Bonkers is in the chat and Gary Rossetti's just turned up as well. So it's great to see you, bud. Great to see you. To make sure you check out the interview from earlier as well. I know you only just turned up. To make sure you check that up. So it's good to see it. Okay, so far we've got Jonah to win. We've got Matt Cardona to win. We've got Jay White to win. We've got Guerrilla's Destiny to win. Right. So Honor No More versus Team Impact.
It ain't no secret. I need a job.
Exactly. Well, these guys need a job, and I think that Impact is the perfect place for all of them. So as much as I want, I'm on Team Impact, I also want these guys to get contracts because I want to see more of them on Impact Wrestling. So I'm going to go Honor No More.
Yeah, Honor No More. I mean, we just had Vincent on. I can't now not want them to come. I've been dying to see Mike Bennett back for ages, and all five of the members of this team have been amazing. Said that they left a huge and massive impression. They've got me actually wanting to watch the return of Ring of Honor. I'm looking forward to actually seeing it come back to see what this new product can actually offer. Just by seeing what the talent that they've gotten rid of. So again, this also plays into Steve Maclin's hands as the heel character. He might be the one most likely getting the pinfall. So again, it's like, you were the wrong person to pick on to go on the team, yada yada yada. So it helps Steve Maclin out as well if Team Impact lose. So there we go. That's my summary and random ramblings afterwards.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah.
Are you going to go? Go on.
Yeah, for me, this match kind of feels like it was spoiled months ago, just because we kind of had the hint that PCO was signed, weren't he?
Yeah, Mike Bennett and PCO Maria were rumored to be signed.
Yeah. However, we've had Vincent on today, and we know that unless I go for talent relations, when one of the team is kind of definitely feel like signed, you kind of get a feeling when there's a contract involved, you kind of get, I feel like we know where this is going. And like Vincent himself said, when you've got a team that has nothing to lose, what is in it for Impact? It's very much a kind of we get everything and you get nothing match. So it's a very one-sided match, really, isn't it? It's going to be
great. It's going to be
it's going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's going to be well worth your money buying. But I think it's one of those where you know what the outcome will be. And that would be Honor No More, I think, coming out victorious. And it's going to be interesting to see what direction it goes when they're allowed access to everything.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I just want to see more. I want to see. I think like this is the best work I've seen Mike Bennett. Like this is way better than the the Miracle.
Yeah.
So I want to see more of them. I want to see more of them. And
If you have small children, please ask them to leave the room right now.
Yeah, there you go. Matt Taven's awesome. There's not been an overload of Maria. That I love. Because obviously, when it was the Miracle, Maria was very much Mike's mouthpiece. Well, Mike don't need her as his mouthpiece. He can, he's
jump on the computer, Sammy.
I don't know whether he's just improved over, since he's been away, and now he's getting that opportunity to prove that he can do it, or whether Maria was just sort of kind of taking the spotlight a little bit on the run previously. I don't know, but I like his mic work. I've liked what his promo work so far over the last, since Hard to Kill. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I like them all. The only one I'm not bothered about is PCO, to be honest. To me, he's just a big lump. And for his age, he can still do some cool things. But I still kind of
is more about character, though, isn't he?
I guess he's a bit like the Ring of Honor version of Abyss. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
but Abyss was talented, wasn't he?
Yeah, of course he was. No, I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for me, he's the least.
He doesn't stand out as much to Bison as everyone else does.
Yeah. To me, and the other guys are much younger, so they've got a lot more in them. So I just feel, the other guys stand out more.
What made me smile was when they had the group of them there, and they were saying PCO was the freak, and when you've got Vincent there, and he's not the freak, that's saying something.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I agree with that totally. No, it's interesting you should say that, Bonkers. And previously, she has wrestled a little bit, and Maria is a wrestler.
Yeah.
But
she won the Impact Knockouts title, didn't she?
Yeah, she ended up cheating though.
She didn't kind of win it the right way, though, did she?
It was kind of
forced Ali onto the floor and stood on her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't quite right there, but yeah. So it's work. I think it's working well, but interesting what Critical Sting's saying there as well. Is interesting timing that Gail is obviously now an authority figure, and of course Maria shows up.
As
well. So
there's more to this than I think we realise, especially if we're now seeing a direction towards the knockout show.
Yes, exactly. And Anna, I don't have beef with PCO. I just find when he went in the ring the other day, I thought he looked pretty good. But he's the least interesting one to me, and I guess it's probably based on the fact that he's an older.
Hold on, calm down, just breathe.
So, and I want to see the younger guys going at it. That's what I want to see now. So yeah, interesting how this one's gonna pan out. But I'm pretty certain On and More are gonna be contracted by next Thursday. So we've then got the Knockouts World Title, which is obviously Mickie James versus Tasha Steelz. Now this is an interesting one, right? Because after seeing a certain tweet from a certain Kira Hogan being put out this week, I sort of kind of have a feeling that we might see Fire and Flavor in the future. But I'm going to go Tasha Steelz for a short run. So I'm going to go TS on this one for a short run. What are your thoughts on this? Let's go Joe first.
Oh, Tasha Steelz deserves the win to win this match. Mickie James has done a great job elevating the Knockouts division and getting them back in everyone's eyes. But Tasha Steelz, she's I've said before, she's been one of the best signings of 2020, and last year she proved it even more, and the whole promo work this year has just been incredible. And but if Tasha Steelz doesn't win now, I don't know who else can beat Mickie James at the moment, unless they build up Jordynne Grace. But no, Tasha Steelz is going to win. I think and then she did comment on Kiera Hogan's message as well. She said that she's welcome to facing her if she decides to come back. So I think that's why I'm hoping we see Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan go 1-on-1, even just if it's a one-off match for the title or not. It would be really interesting to see. But Tasha Steelz has definitely got this one. They'll probably go to Tasha Steelz and Jenna Peraza come Summerversary.
Okay, right. So you're going to go with Mickie James?
No, Barika Badass.
Okay, TS. So you're going with Tasha Steelz. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I sort of kind of got lost in the shuffle there.
I know everyone does.
Sure which way you were going. I got lost in the void. That's what I've done there. Steve, what about you, buddy? What about you on this one?
Yeah, I'm with Joe on this one. I feel like we're seeing a great build from Tasha, and it does feel like this is a moment for her to win it. But everything we've seen from Mickie over the last couple of months and everything we're seeing from her currently, it feels really like she could win it as well. And this is, for me, one of the toughest ones to pick from, because it could go either way. And you know what? Let's try. We've gone the same all the way through. I'll go for Mickie on this one, because there's been a couple of matches where there's like Bound for Glory. We all said Deonna was winning.
Yeah, we did.
And
so if you're going to go for Mickie James, surely you should do something special.
What, like
country?
Yeah, boy. Love it. Yeah, so it's all good. So Mickie James for Steve, Tasha Steelz for Joe, Tasha Steelz for me. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea, I keep forgetting that Chelsea Green's bloody involved in this whole thing too.
Especially if she comes out in with Cardona maybe earlier in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't know, do you? That's the thing. I mean, if she's going to turn heel as well, that could be an interesting thought process.
I am the f***ing greatest.
That's a fact. That is a fact. But yeah, it'd be good to see if Chelsea does it, and then we get a match between Deonna and Chelsea at some point. Best friends and all that. So it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. Okay, so moving on from the Knockouts division, we then got obviously the World Championship on the line. We've got Moose versus Morrissey. Obviously, we've seen how this one has built up, which has been interesting. But I have to say, no matter, even though they've really built up Morrissey in this one, I'm going to go Moose to retain on this one. Yeah, Moose. What are your thoughts, Stevie boy?
Yeah, it's been one of those where I've been thinking about it, and both men have been built up so well that it's, both men could easily walk out of this as a winner. And then I thought, well, who looks better winning? And Moose looks better, I feel, pinning Morrissey, because he's only had one loss, hasn't he? Really, one pin on him, and that was from Eddie. So if Moose is the only person to then give him a second pinfall, that does a lot for Moose, more than I feel Morrissey pinning Moose. So yeah, I think that if Moose gets a pinfall, at least a clean pinfall or a submission over Morrissey, that can do a lot for him in this match, I think.
Okay, so you're going to go Moose.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe.
I'm going to go for Moose as well. Like Steve has said, Morrissey's only lost to Eddie Edwards so far, really, and it's too soon for Moose to lose the belt. Now, we waited about 3 years for him to get the title after all the business with Bobby Lashley, and it's been a long time coming for Moose to get this belt. And also with the situation with Josh Alexander, Morrissey and Moose keeping their rivalry going now makes a lot more sense than it would be to have Morrissey lose and Josh Alexander go straight for Moose and take the title off him at Rebellion, for example. So I can see these two having this rivalry go on to Rebellion, possibly even the Impact Plus special after Rebellion. But they're going to be at each other's throats for a very long time, and the match is going to get more and more violent, more and more interesting.
Yeah. Just going to end with
Period.
Oh yeah. Okay, so all three of us have gone with Moose on that one. So the only one which has gone the other way at the moment is, of course,
Stephen Mickey James.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that we haven't had like the knockouts tag match, considering it's probably very clear what it is. You know, I'm surprised they haven't announced that.
If anything, I think it might be on the pre-show.
Because they're worried that it's not going to happen again.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's going to be. I think it'll be announced tomorrow. I'm sure.
Yeah, but they need. I agree with what they said on TNI last week that it needs to happen because they can't drag this feud out any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to come to a. It's got to come to a head now. It's got to happen.
Just put Alicia and Rosemary together and give them a match against the Inspiration. Seeing as Havoc can't be there at the moment, so put Alicia and Rosemary together. See what happens.
Why can't Havoc be there? Have I missed something?
Because at the moment, she was in isolation from COVID.
Oh, is she? I didn't notice that.
That's why she wasn't at the tapings at the last set of tapings.
There was a lot of people.
Yeah, that's why Heath wasn't there as well, and Willie Mack, all three of them.
Yeah, you assume no surrender will be a different set of tapings, won't it? So they should be.
Yeah, so
they all should be back. They all should be back for the next set, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's why you assume we'll get maybe an X Division title match, maybe at No Surrender.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm sure we're going to end up with, because if you look at the match that we've got coming up later on Impact tomorrow, I think the winner of that one will go on to face Trey Miguel. So I think what we're going to get is Trey Miguel title match against the winner of that.
Yeah.
And obviously we're going to get the the Knockouts tag title match between the Inspiration and the Influence.
Yeah.
Where Caleb's going to turn. I
can't predict any more matches. I mean, they might be trying to set up something with Bhupinder and Raj, but beyond, I can't see that on No Surrender.
No, that might be a pre-show match. You never know. Could be.
Maybe.
They might have two pre-show matches, and that could be the first one.
I think Ace Austin and Chris Bay have got a match on the pre-show.
Have they?
Yeah, I think it's them two and Laredo Kid, or it's Ace Austin versus Chris Bay on the pre-show.
That's interesting because that then tells you that Christian Blake's going to win tomorrow.
Yeah.
But there you go. I've not seen that. I've not seen that.
Where did you see that?
I saw it on a couple of days ago. I can't on Twitter somewhere.
Okay, fair enough. I've not seen that. I've not seen that. Yeah, definitely. But there you go. If that happens, then great. If it's like you say, the Radio Kid versus. What's that going on there? Yeah, Blake Christian. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. But then what's the point? It's two bloody Christian names. What am I supposed to do? Get over it. So anyway,
look at this dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so it keeps going on. So hopefully we'll get those two extra matches added. That'll obviously happen tomorrow. And then we got No Surrender, and we'll find out who's going to be on pre-shows if that happens. But we then got this week, we've got the digital media exclusive match. Now, I don't know if you boys have managed to catch it, but it's a bloody good match, so you want to check it out. If we, like say, if you're going to complain that the matches are never long enough on these digital media matches, well, you need to check this one out. This was a good 10, 15-minute match. We have Matt Cardona versus Dan Maff for the DMC Championship. Of course, that was with WrestlePro. So, and I have to say, after a pretty hardcore matchup all over the WrestlePro arena, Matt Cardona obviously gets the win right at the end there to retain. We also got sort of kind of, I don't know, cameo, but we also got an in-ring cameo with regards to Doc Gallows coming in and getting involved as well. But I definitely would say, I mean, I don't want to go too much in it just in case you haven't seen it, but it's definitely worth watching this match regardless of whether you know the result now or not. All right, get in there and watch a match. Really good. Hang on, what's going on, Zach? Bison is about as sorry as Trent feels sorry about his marriage. Yeah, you're right. I do. That's about how sorry I feel about it all. But there you go. So, so yeah, definitely go and check the digital media match out. Very, very good match. Really, really good match. Make sure you check it out. We then got the BTI match advertised, which only popped up about an hour or so ago, just before we went live. So we've got, this is it. So like I say, we're going to get to see Big Con a bit more. So we've got Big Con versus Eddie Edwards. And that's the BTI match.
I really like Impact Wrestling.
What a great match this is going to be. I think this is going to be a little bit longer than obviously the Josh Alexander match because Eddie's not going to be quite as emotionally charged as Josh was at that moment. So I think we're going to get a really good match here. We're going to get to see Big Con get to go a little bit on this one as well. So looking forward to that. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
I'm looking forward to.
What?
What was that?
That was half a soundbite. Try it again, Steve. We know what it was. Try it again.
Hang on, where are we?
Is it not working?
I'll start talking and then it'll go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It fell into the void.
It fell into the void. Is it gone? Where's it gone? Anyway, so
I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I did see a bit of the Ascension when they were at NXT, and I was really, really impressed. And then just to then see that they dropped off the ladder completely as they do when they go to Raw, SmackDown, it was a huge disappointment. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here. And Eddie Edwards always puts on a fantastic match as well.
Yeah,
it's great to see. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we then move on to Impact Wrestling. So we obviously that's your BTI match, which should be pretty good. We then move on to Impact Wrestling. We've got several matches advertised for this one. I mean, we've just literally spoke about Ace Austin versus Blake Christian versus Laredo Kid. Is it Blake Christian or Christian?
It's Christian Blake.
Okay, Christian Blake. If what you're saying is true, then I'm assuming that Christian Blake is going to win that match and then move on to take on Trey Miguel at No Surrender for the X Division title. I think that's what's going to happen there.
I still see Laredo Kid winning.
You do?
He was getting a big push, wasn't he?
Yes, I agree. I agree. It would be a shame to see him not win after winning sort of like 2 or 3 matches, and of course he's recently announced that he is signed with Impact, etc.
Yeah. So he was getting a really big push, and you felt like they were lining him up for Trey, and then obviously Trey missed these set of tapings. So you feel like he's the most logical.
I agree, but then normally the most logical doesn't end up being the case, certainly in the X Division, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
I'll say this. I might get some hate for this, but I hope it's not Ace that wins it.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Just because I'm not ready for Trey to lose it, and I don't want Ace to go in there and just be someone for Trey to go over.
Yeah. I can understand that too.
Yeah. So hang on a minute. We're getting some confusion here, right?
No, I got the name wrong when I corrected you. So
it is Blake Christian.
It is Blake Christian, not Christian Blake.
Right. So I got it right. I've got it right. Yeah.
We're going to need to have it on like a note in the background in the screen here. It's not Christian Blake. It's Blake Christian or something like that.
Yeah, it's Blake Christian.
Anyway. Fair enough. Okay. So we've also got Giselle Shaw's in-ring debut versus Lady Frost.
Stick a carrot in me and call me Frosty.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think that this is going to be an interesting match because I'm actually stuck on who's going to win this, because I think if Giselle Shaw has been signed, bringing her in as the latest knockout, you stick her in against Lady Frost, who is also recently signed and has been on a bit of a winning streak lately. You can't put Giselle out there to lose. You can't.
Giselle's
you know
going to
win.
It won't damage her if she loses. Tasha Steelz lost her debut against Kylie Ray, and it boosted Tasha Steelz forward. I think Lady Frost is going to win this match.
Nah.
All right.
Yeah.
For me, Giselle is going to win this, and this is going to turn into a feud because I see Lady Frost as a future top babyface, and in Giselle, for me, instantly you've got a top heel right there, and for someone to come in like that, you've instantly got to have the heel go over the babyface, and long term, the babyface is going to get over the heel. So, she's going to come in, I feel, win the first few matches, maybe build up to something at Sacrifice or whatever, a feud, and then that is when you feel like Lady Frost is going to get the ultimate comeuppance.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. I'm going to go with that. So you're saying Lady Frost's going to win, yeah, Joe?
Yeah, but I will say, instantly, I got Scarlet vibes, but better. Saying like the backstage segment with Gia. Actually, I prefer standing on this side to you, kind of thing.
That was brilliant. That was
fantastic.
I also did you notice the music as it starts is very similar to Scarlet.
Yeah.
That dung. Yeah, very very similar. But I like Giselle Shaw. I mean, I've seen her wrestle live. She's very good. So it's going to be interesting to see where that one pans out. And I think you might be right. Maybe Giselle will win. But for me, I'm a massive Lady Frost fan now. She's awesome,
I think we all are. You can tell she's clicked with the fans.
Yeah, so I'd like to see her win, but I can see Giselle winning this one. You're right. We've also then got talking about the knockouts. We've also got Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans versus Mickie James and, of course, Chelsea Green. And this is interesting because we were talking about, or somebody was mentioning that Green's going to turn on Mickie, maybe at some point, and she's going to end up, winning the Knockouts title, becoming the Knockouts champion at some point. Interesting, perception on this one. So we're just in the moment, Mickie and Chelsea are all best buddies, and lovely jubbly and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out. I'm sure if Steelz and Evans win, I'm certain Mickey's going to retain it, no surrender. So we'll see. What are your thoughts on this one?
It's one of those where, isn't it? Booking 101 tells you that, but is it Booking 101 if Chelsea pins Savannah?
I guess, yeah. There's an option there, of course. What about you, Joe?
I think Tasha Steelz is going to win this match. I think she's going to pin Chelsea Green.
You think?
Yeah, and then Mickie James is going to get knocked out or something, and Tasha Steelz is going to pin Chelsea Green, and it's just going to add that. It's going to give Tasha Steelz that extra momentum then going into No Surrender.
Okay, fair enough. And I quite like that, Gary. Yeah, we can have a BTI match: Blake Christian versus Christian Blake. To see which name's the best. Birth certificate on a pole match. I like it. So, who knows? Yeah. We've also got
back for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. We've also got Kenny King versus Chris Saban. Now, I'm a huge Kenny King man. I'll mark all over him. He's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think they've wrestled before back in TNA. So this is going to be very, very interesting.
I love this match.
I do. I certainly love this match. I think it's going to be a really, really good match. What are your thoughts on this one, Joe?
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't put Steve Macklin against him. That's the only gripe I've got with this match because, I've forgotten his bloody name now.
Okay.
Let's
go with Steve. You come back to you in a second, Joe. Go on, Steve.
I'll agree with Joe a little. I'm surprised that that it's Saban versus Kenny King, because this is a reasonably big match, and Saban's wrestled now PCO and Kenny King. That's nearly half of Ring of Honor, of Honor No More, and you look at the rest of the Impact group, and you feel there could have been someone else that you feel could have gone one-on-one with Kenny King. Saban's now had two matches, and I mean, I love seeing Saban in the ring, but yeah, it's one of those where could we have had a one-on-one match with Eddie or Rhino, or I don't know, but
Who thinks Chris Saban should change his ring entrance so that basically what happens is you get a load of steam coming out, just a load of steam, right? And then he just comes out with his shirt on and a towel wrapped around him. What do you think? A towel wrapped around and he comes walking out doing like steamy Saban.
If they bring back Wrestle House, then they need to do that as a one-off, or it would be really fun.
Great. It would be great if he did it after Caleb was in the ring.
Yes, that would have been so good. Oh my god, that would have been so good. But anyway, moving on from that, I think it's going to be a good match. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Either way, it's going to be good.
It's a pay-per-view worthy match.
Yes, I agree, because Kenny's amazing. Kenny, K-I-N-G, King, is going to be... Exactly. He's such a good wrestler. Such a good wrestler. I'm so glad he's back on Impact TV. So I'm looking forward to this one. Right. We then got, obviously, the Bullet Club, Jay White and Gorillas of Destiny versus VBD, EY, Dina, and Doring. Again, this is obviously setting up the No Surrender clash. Is it here that we're sort of kind of going to get the whole... no VBD and no Bullet Club at ringside scenario? I don't know, possibly. I think this is going to no one's going to win this. It's just going to end up in an all-out brawl, and it's just going to be a disqualification, no one wins type scenario, I'm sure. What do you think on this one, Joe?
I'm just going to sit back and put my feet up and watch it and enjoy it.
It's going to be amazing to see GOD in the ring.
Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing them, and I'm looking forward to seeing Eric Young as well back in again. He's been it's so good to see Eric Young again.
It's going to be a great match, isn't it?
What about you, Steve?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a fantastic match. You got 6 great talents in there. If you had to put your neck on the line, you'd say the Bullet Club win it, just because you've got 2 talents in Dino and Doring that aren't going to be involved at No Surrender. So would eating a pin, and sadly, I hate saying this, especially for Dina, is that going to hurt him? He sadly seems to be the scapegoat, as much as I don't like him being the scapegoat. So I feel like VBD would eat the pin, but they'll probably be standing tall at the end of the match.
Yeah, because the Good Brothers going to come down and
there might be a stare down between the Good Brothers and Violent by Design at the end, because the Bullet Club will be trying to rope the Good Brothers into coming out to have their backs.
I have a feeling Violent by Design will be the ones that make the decision on who win that tag match.
Yeah,
possibly. Possibly.
If the Good Brothers come out in the main event to help the Violent by Design, then they've played into the Bullet Club's hands, and so the Good Brothers aren't going to win. So it's great mind games by Jay White.
That's going to be interesting to watch. Which match is on first, the tag match or EY versus Jay White?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, definitely. Well, I tell you what, boys, we pretty much covered everything.
One thing, guys, what's your thoughts on Calhoun and Censored coming back?
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, fantastic. Have you watched it?
I have. Yes, the whole thing with Mickie James is fantastic. She opened up broadly about everything with the Royal Rumble, about about everything with the Royal Rumble, the controversy surrounding it and why she went back. She laid it out bare with Sami Calhoun and just did both of them. Just did a fantastic, good 20-25 minute interview, and we got a really good match afterwards as well between Ace Austin and I've forgotten his name now. Who Ace Austin faced off against? It was for the that title at Wrestling Revolver when it came back on. Ace Austin had that match then. It was a bloody good match, and I do recommend, if you guys haven't watched it, I do recommend you check it out, because Sami Calhoun's trying to get this now to come back as a weekly thing, and it's, in his words, to get it going as long as possible until he gets it banned.
Is that right? Okay, yeah. Fair enough. So I don't, let's go and check this out. I haven't had a chance to watch it myself. I was going to watch it, but like I said, I've had my dad down, so I just don't have time to check it out. But I am going to check it out. So I'm looking forward to that. So you recommend everyone checks this out, right?
I do. It's bloody brilliant. It was really, really good to see. And Sammy getting Mickey James to cuss a couple of times was really funny too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, all right. So that's probably pretty much what we've got time for. We pretty much covered everything. That's pretty much it, really. So please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up, and also make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI Impact live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and, of course, on YouTube. Also, all TNI shows are available on the Listen on the Go fans via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, pretty much wherever you listen to all your favorite shows. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe? Where can we find you, bud?
You can follow me on Twitter at JKEmptySpace. You can jump onto Facebook, look for hashtag Empty Space, hashtag The Void, or hashtag Daily Giggle if you wish to jump into a sense of humor, but come in with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity.
There you go. And what about you, Steve?
You can find me over on Twitter at SimplySteve311 for everything Impact Wrestling related. You can also head over to WrestleBuddy.com and find any articles that I write under the Impact Wrestling banner. You can also head over to WrestleBuddy over on YouTube and listen to any podcasts that we do and any uploads that we post. I think myself and Joe are going to do one Friday on No Surrender, so come and join us this Friday. And yeah,
that's pretty much it. Sounds good. I definitely recommend you checking out those articles that Steve and, of course, Joe pops out every now and again. They're very, very good, well written, well thought out. You might not agree with all of it, but everyone has different opinions, and that's what the world is all about. So, if you're interested in finding out a bit more about myself, obviously Bison, you can find me over on Twitter at LordBison45. I'm fairly active on Twitter. I a little bit on Facebook as well, but I'm more active on Twitter when it comes to our wrestling related stuff. So, and don't forget, of course, we now have the TNI UK Facebook page. So make sure that you go and check that out. It's if you go and pop a search in for Total Nonstop Impact UK, please join our group. We've got a few people in there as well. I think Steve's put it in below. Have you put it in the things below the Facebook group?
Yeah,
Steve?
Put it in the description. Yeah.
Okay, so it's all in there. So if you want to just click on the link, head over and join our group. Loads of chat on there with regards to Impact and other all related stuff on there as well. So we've got a nice little community building on there. And of course, don't forget, we've also got the TNI Discord as well. So go and check that out. Now, please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings. It's really important, guys, that you give us a good thumbs up if you like the show. And if you're new to us and you know what you've seen today, then don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button. That's really important. And of course, once you've done all of that, you need to give that bell a tickle, a squeeze, and a smash to never miss any of the TNI UK and US team's great content coming out each and every single week. It's almost like I've memorized all this stuff, do you think?
Oh, it comes naturally after a while, doesn't it?
Just flows, doesn't it, mate? Just flows. Anyway, don't forget, if you want to support TNI, head over to our Spreadshirt store. We've got loads of stuff on there. that you can support us with: mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, I don't know, mouse mats, all sorts of bits and bobs on there. So make sure that you do that. Head over there, and don't forget, we've also got our Pro Wrestling Tees store, which is prowrestlingtees.com/total nonstop impact. A huge thank you to our special guest this week, Honor and Moores, Vincent, for joining us today. It was great to have him on the show, and I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. But with all that said, guys, I've been Bison, they've been the Joker, and of course, Simply Steve, and this has been episode 69 of Impacted. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
We're Impacted! We are Impacted! We're Impacted! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power and make us free! We never break down! We want to